Transportation Commission meeting, recorded July 11th, 2022.
So I'll call the meeting to start. And Helen, you want to run the roll call?
Yes. Alder Mary Kneebone.
Here.
Alder Mark Christensen.
Here.
Greg Keppel.
Here.
Tom Bertram.
Present.
Carolyn Peterson.
Here.
And Nicole Lisning.
Present.
And
okay.
Then Jessa Min.
Okay, we'll move to agenda item number 2, which is approval of the May 9, 2022 minutes. Those were attached in the packet.
I had a question on check number 6868. Is that for the downtown transfer station, the bathrooms?
Correct.
Okay, we read from Arbuckle.
Yes.
Okay, that was my only question.
Tom Bertram will
so
move to the minutes.
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a motion by Tom and a second by Carolyn. Any further questions on the minutes? Okay, hearing none, we'll take the motion to vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? Okay, motion carries. We'll move to agenda item number 3, approval of the May and June 2022 financial claims report. So does anybody have any questions for Talon?
Well, I would like to, my question, was it actually for minutes? I don't know what I was thinking.
Just thought you were getting a jump on it.
I guess.
It did switch from a different restroom location to Arbuckle's. Just it was a lot cleaner facilities. They were open better hours, things like that. So we did move that over.
Did you used to use Shopko?
No, there was like an office rental space a couple doors down.
Did we have to, we didn't.
Oh, we did use Shopko.
Did we pay for the Shopko? Did we have to pay for it?
No. No.
I don't remember seeing that.
Yep, when they closed, and then when COVID came up, a lot of restrooms closed, and that's what brought us to getting that solution for the drivers.
We have a lot of facets along the routes as well for options, but then when they got downtown, there wasn't much there originally, and then we went with that, I forget the name of the other, I think it was Schultz's. And then now we've moved it to Arbuckle, which they seem much happier with that location.
Is the rental fee the same as it was at Schultz's?
Yes, it is.
I have a question also. Just a point of curiosity. It would be in the May minutes line item 6849 to Portage County Treasurer. There was aid moved to a trust fund. That's part of the agreement with the county, I assume? It's like $28,000.
Yep, yeah, so that's a part of the county. The funds that the county agreed to send us for 2021, we didn't spend all of those funds because of CARES Act money and some extra money in other grants that came across. So that money is actually being put into a trust fund held by the county that will be set aside for future vehicle purchases for transportation. So it's not like it's we're paying it back to the state or the county or anything. Just being able to be put aside. So that's a great, for those county programs and for transportation as a whole.
Thanks.
If there's no further questions, then we can take a motion.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second, Nicole.
Okay, so we have a motion by Carolyn and a second by Mary. Any further comments? Okay, hearing none, we'll take the motion to vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? Okay, motion carries. We'll move to agenda item number 4, nominations and election of chairperson and vice chairperson of the Transportation Commission.
Madam Chair, I would like to nominate Mr. Capel for chair.
Okay.
Thank you. I accept the nomination.
Okay, great. Now, Talon, do you want us to take a vote on each one separately?
Joel, how do you know how we normally nominate? I don't think we've had multiple nominations ever since I've been in.
Yeah, I mean, if it's agended that way, I didn't look into the things that are needing election here. But I think we've opened the nominations. You've gotten one. You call it open 2 more times, and then you close it, and then you kind of take a vote. And you can do the same for the
Okay.
other position. Yeah.
All right, any further nominations then?
I will nominate Nicole.
Well, thanks. I was thinking maybe it might be nice to step down, but stay on the committee. It might be nice to have somebody else run. Thanks, Tom. So do I have to decline,
You can decline.
Joel? Okay. All right, I decline. Any further nominations? Okay. So, we have one nomination. We'll take that to vote. All those in favor of Keppel being chairperson, say aye.
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 Okay, motion carries. So now we'll open up for nominations for the vice chairperson for the Transportation Commission.
I nominate, this is Greg, I nominate committee person Bertram for the vice chair position.
I wholeheartedly decline.
I'll persist a little bit and try and convince Tom that his expertise, his knowledge and experience would be very welcome in the vice chair role, and I know he'd do a fabulous job, and I hope you'd reconsider. I don't think you'd find it too onerous, and you can make a big difference.
I still thank you very much. That is very kind of you to say, and I still will decline.
Nicole, would you be willing, since you have the expertise of, I mean, if the chairperson was gone, obviously you do a great job running a meeting. Would you be considered staying on as a vice chairperson?
Sure.
All right, I nominate Nicole.
Okay, thank you.
I second that.
Any further nominations?
I have thought Carolyn has always done well, so I would nominate Carolyn.
Okay.
That's kind of you, but I must decline this time.
I'm doing 0 for 2 for my nomination. Oh, man.
It's because we haven't seen your cat yet today. Oh.
Sweet.
All right, so one last call for a vice chairperson for the Transportation Commission. Okay, hearing none, then can I call the vote when I am the chairperson? I can, right?
Yeah, you're running the meeting still.
Sure.
Okay. All right, so all those in favor of Nicole Listney being the vice chairperson for the Transportation Commission, say aye.
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 Those opposed? All right, so we've got new leadership for our next meeting. Awesome. Okay, we'll move on to action item number 5, approval to place 2022 CARES Act funds in an internally restricted fund for future transit capital expenses. Talon, you want to speak on this one? Or Joel?
So yeah,
I'm happy to as soon as you'd like me to.
okay, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have anything except for what I break down in the letter. In 2021, we received CARES Act funds for 100% of our local share, which isn't the case in 2022, but we are receiving a sizable amount of CARES Act funds. Now, there is city money budgeted to cover our local share, so I would simply like to take those CARES Act funds and put them in an internally restricted fund to be used for future transit capital. We do have large purchases of buses coming up, like I broke down there, and vehicles, and then just some other projects to consider in the future, like a transfer center, route expansion, things like that. So the city does still get relief from that by not having to cover those capital expenses since we have the funds set aside. But if we were to go the other way and take the budgeted money and give it back, use CARES Act funds for transit, we would need to do the same for the other local shares that are contributing towards transportation. The Portage County, Whiting, Crossroads Commons, the people that we have agreements with, but instead we rather just have all that money be invested back into transportation in our community.
I guess the one thing I'd add to that is that in the preliminary discussions at the city level with the preparation of the 2023 and beyond capital improvement plan, this has been discussed. So it's one of the things that's being proposed here, hopefully for approval. And then it'll be noted on the city capital plan that those things that are requested in there are covered by funds that have been put into a restricted fund for that purpose. So I mean, many of you know how it works. There's way more requests than there is money. So this will help alleviate that a little too.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, we've seen everything is going up. Unanticipated supply shortages, cost of materials, all of that stuff. I think it's wise to be looking forward, because by the time we're going to have to buy something new, it's going to be way more expensive than we anticipate anyway. So the opportunity to bank this fund, kind of keep it away from everything else, maybe generate a little interest revenue, I think is a good idea.
Does that a motion, Mary?
I guess so. I will move to approve the putting the funds from the CARES Act into the, an internally restricted fund for future transit capital expenses.
Thank you.
Second that.
Okay, so we have a motion by Mary and a second by Carolyn. Any further questions for Talon or Joel? Okay, I didn't hear any. So take the motion to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, so we'll move to agenda item number 6, which is our next meeting date. Looks like we are up for August 8th at 4:45. Anybody that knows now that they won't be able to make that meeting?
I'll be traveling then, but I'm pretty sure I'll be able to attend, at least remotely like this. So it should be fine.
Okay. Sounds like we'll have a quorum then. That's good. All right. Well, with that, then we'll be adjourned. Thanks everybody for attending or calling in. And good luck at your next meeting.
And thanks, Nicole, for your leadership over the past few years. And a big thank you. And I look forward to learning a lot from you as we go forward.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, thanks to Carolyn too for being vice chairperson for the last
Absolutely.
year too. Yep.
Absolutely. Night, everybody.
Night. Stay dry.
A video of this meeting is available for viewing on the city's website, stevenspoint.com/videos.